Hello, beautiful human being. I hope you are feeling especially beautiful today. And one thing that I want to bring to mind, have you stopped long enough to look at the beautiful leaves that we have right now? I live on a lake, and right now, when you look across the lake, the reflection from the trees is in the water, and it is absolutely beautiful. So I just want to remind you that right now, God has some beautiful colors for you to witness, and take the time to slow down enough to just take a look and see what excitement He's going to bring to your very soul from taking the time to look. And the other thing that this goes so well with today's podcast is because it is about the 3 daily habits to increase your peace using neuroscience and biblical methods. So this is something that when I was going through anxiety that I found really helped me, and I really think it can help you if for any reason you need to experience a little more peace. So the thing that I've always said, and I truly believe, the more we practice something, the easier it comes when we need it. So when we practice this, when we don't need it, it will make it way easier for us to get the effects of it right down to our very soul, our mind, our will, and our emotions when we don't need it. So, the very first thing that I want to suggest you do is close your eyes moments. Take moments in your day to just simply close your eyes. Now, I want to educate you a little bit on the reasons why you want to do this. So, we have over 10 million bits of visual information coming at us every single second. Now, stop and think about that. We have so many things happening and taking up so much of our energy in our brain from what we see. And this is the thing that only 50 to 100 bits reaches our conscious awareness every second. So there is a lot being filtered out, which is great because our brain definitely does not have the capacity to take in everything. But I also want you to recognize how I had said, whether you're actually noticing some of the fall leaves and things going on, it's a great way to like just slow down and block out everything else and really just experience the gifts that God gives us in all the colors that we have. But especially, I want you to look, and then I want you to take a moment to close your eyes. And this is a way that our brain shifts in to out of beta and into alpha waves. By closing our eyes, it is one way that we can create the relaxation and calm that we want to experience in finding that peace. So, by closing your eyes, just a simple thing can slow down the brain and allow you to experience God in a new way. So, supporting scriptures for this is be still and know that I am God. And also in Matthew, it says, but when you pray, go into a room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Now we know there's many scriptures that talk about Jesus going away and withdrawing and finding solitude and praying to his Father. So today in our really busy world, you may find yourself in in times where it's hard to pull away from other people, but you can do it very simply by closing your eyes. And then that leads us into the number 2 thing to do is take strong, deep breaths. So the way we do this is we want to relax our vagus nerve. And one of the ways we can do that is by taking big, deep diaphragm breaths. So letting your tummy go in and out as you take a slow, deep breath, it creates such a beautiful calmness and peace, and it vibrates that vagus nerve that is known to help us relax. It connects our body and our mind together, and it lowers cholesterol levels. So these are all scientifically proven things by neuroscience and the studies that go with that. So the neural benefits are it releases neurochemicals into our body which promotes a well-being and a relaxation. So it is so beneficial to take a deep breath in and let it out. And the slower we can do that, our practice, if we can practice to get where it takes 4 breaths in to get to fullness and then release it out as slow as you can, up to as much as 8 counts. And that will bring a wonderful calmness. And make sure you lift your belly and bring it back in. By putting your hand on your belly, that could help you as well to experience it in a deeper sense. So you can, it's one of those things with our breath that it just happens naturally. But when we pay attention to it and slow it down and take deep breaths in and out, it has been proven that it helps release those chemicals in our body that give us this calmness. So I want you to practice that. Now that leads us into number 3, which is repeated affirmations and thoughts. So one of my favorites, and I use this so often when I was experiencing anxiety, whenever I'd have that anxious thought just drop into my mind, I would take a deep breath and then I would say, I trust you, Lord. And in neuroscience, it says if we do this often, then that can create those automations within us. So it is a good idea to maybe first thing in the morning or last thing at night, you have these affirmations that you say, and they say it is so important to say them in the present tense. So if we're talking about if we're talking about peace, for example, we would say, instead of saying, I will be at peace, you say, I am at peace. So for me, I used to say, and I still say whenever I notice I'm having a worrisome thought, is I trust you, Lord. And in neuroscience, we would want to say, I trust you, Lord, right now. I decide and I know I get to trust in your goodness right now. So then it also says if you can experience an emotion and envision yourself with the result you want, these will help move that along. So what do? We have an affirmation. Most of the time, I like to say your affirmation and pick your affirmation for whatever the promise is that you need from God and you want to experience right now. So turn that into an affirmation that is current. So for me, it was always, I just wanted to trust him. And I knew of his goodness. I knew his nature, that it was good. Even as we're experiencing things in this fallen world, we get the opportunity to know that he is going to make it into something good. It may seem impossible, but having that reassurance and that truth and that belief that he will, and you get to affirm it in what you say, that I trust you, Lord, and I trust in your goodness. I trust in your love. I trust in your forgiveness. I trust in everything that you say is mine. And there are times we need to think those on purpose. And that's why the Bibletation app is so beneficial in those circumstances that you have happening in life, and you need to be reminded. There are Bibletations inside the app that will remind you of the exact promises that God says are yours, and you get to know and affirm and say in the present tense right now, and see what you want to be happening from that promise as it's happening right now to you. So there are some wonderful scriptures that go along with this. So I'm going to say, I'm going to read a couple off to you. So in Proverbs 18:21 in the Passion Bible, it says, your words are so powerful that they will kill or give life. These are things that you need to know, that you get to choose the words you're going to allow to say in your mind and out of your mouth. Choose God's promises, even when we can't see them. That is what faith is about. Say them as they are yours right now, because that is what Jesus died for you to have. And then in Romans 12:2, it says, stop imitating the ideals and opinions of the culture around you, but be inwardly transformed by the Holy Spirit through a total reformation of how you think. This will empower you to discern God's will as you live a beautiful life, satisfying and perfect in his eyes. We, as I've said, get to choose the thoughts we have. We get to kick out the ones we don't want. We get to, at any moment of the day, invite the Holy Spirit in. We get to close our eyes. We get to take a deep breath in, and we get to affirm God's promises, whatever it is that you need. Remember, we get to invite God in to be who he says he will be for us whenever we need it. And start practicing these 3 daily habits. And I suggest you do them all together. Close your eyes, take deep, slow breaths in, and affirm, I trust you and your goodness, Lord, right now, and I will now and forever. And I pray that you are blessed. God bless.